Minnesota is Fred Cusick.
On the faceoff, Neil Broughton and Peter McNab. And Cicerelli plays it back for Roberts. For Brad Maxwell. And it is swept in by McCarthy. Blocked by Peters. Peters. Now Broughton went heavily into the net. Now here's a shot from the boards by Cicerelli. Blocked by Peters. And the puck is knocked out of the zone and pinned there and called for a faceoff. This broadcast authorized by the Boston Bruins Hockey Club solely for the entertainment of our viewing audience. Any broadcast, rebroadcast, or the use of the accounts and descriptions of this game without the express consent of the Boston Bruins or TV 38 is prohibited.
Broughton crashed into the goalpost, thought he might have been hurt, but shortly got up. And that was a close call for the speedy little guy for the North Stars at center. Seems to be all right, has gone to the bench, but seems to be shaking it off all right.
All right, a change in lines for Minnesota and for Boston, too. Mike Krushelnyski draws it back to Milbury. O'Connell, Krushelnyski. Off on the right for Bruce Crowder over the line. Open is Krushelnyski. Couldn't get it to him as Burgess was coming up, too. And Minnesota breaks it back. In the center ice, Bobby Smith works it over the line, is checked, keeps it in with Maxwell. Maxwell into the corner, a shot blocked by Peters. It deflected right on him, and fortunately he was down, and a penalty coming up on Mike Milbury. Milbury knocked down Brian Bellows, and the first penalty of the game to Milbury. Power play for Minnesota. And with the score of Boston nothing, Minnesota nothing, Bruins hockey will continue in a moment.
Game goes to Mike Milbury for cross-checking Brian Bellows. 43 seconds of the first period. Maxwell from the right corner centered it out in front. Bellows tipped it on Peters. He made a great left pad save, dragging the pad behind him.
And the faceoff is out in front of Peters. Neil Broughton and Barry Peterson, and now Cicerelli moves in for it. Broughton, Cicerelli, and Plett. Bruins get the draw and the clear by Ray Bourque. Ray Bourque and Brad Park on defense. Rick Middleton and Barry Peterson up front. Very quickly, power play for Minnesota. And they use 4 forwards on the power play. McCarthy plays a point. This is the lone defenseman, Roberts. Greeted at center ice by Park. Puck fed in. Bourque trying to backhand it out. It is blocked. Kept in by Roberts. Roberts for McCarthy, the right point man. In deep now on the boards. Back to McCarthy. Checked by Middleton. Popped in the air. Batted around. Middleton can't clear it. McCarthy kept it in. McCarthy drops it off for Broughton. Broughton for McCarthy, who has moved well up. Fires across to the other side of Cicerelli. Back for Roberts. Quick pass in. And it's taken by Broughton, but he can't get the shot away. Gets it back to McCarthy. In a screen. Blocked by Park. Fails to clear. Roberts to Broughton. Broughton a shot. Big save, Peters. Broughton sort of misfired, then hit, and it went high, and Peters made the save on Neil Broughton.
Neil Broughton with 2 great scoring opportunities. Here's Roberts to Broughton. Watch this one. He fanned on it. He was set up beautifully, and the second one grabbed by Peters. That was the second one. I'm sorry. The first one was even better. Roberts, the left point, quickly over to Broughton, standing sort of on the right wing side, just inside the face-off circle between Peters and the red dot. Right about where Billy Smith is, but a little closer to Peters, and he drove one. Good play by the North Stars on the power play.
O'Connell trying to clear. Rolls into the corner. Payne, Hartsburg there. Hartsburg knocked down Peterson. Cleared it around. Krushelnyski there. Can't fire it out. Stopped by Young. Young at the right point now. Young up to Smith. Smith working the boards. Gets it in deep to Bellows. Back for Smith. Back to the point man, Young. Young, a shot. Save, Peters. Hangs on, lost his balance. 39 seconds left on the power play. And face off to the left of Peters.
Pete Peters, who has started the last 5 games in a row for the Bruins, 9 out of the last 10, has had to be quick in the early going here at the Met Center. 39 seconds left on the penalty to Mike Milbury.
The power play now has Bobby Smith. He's been out for this last 30 seconds at center. On the left, Steve Payne. On the right, Brian Bellows, the rookie. And fourth forward is Tim Young at the right point. The captain, Craig Hartsburg, at the left. Krushelnyski set for the faceoff with Bobby Smith. Batted around, kept in by Young. Shot blocked by Krushelnyski. Kept in by Young again. Gets it off to Smith. Smith on the right boards. Checked by Kushaliski, O'Connell drops it for Young. Young shot. Save Peters. Dropped at the right moment. Peterson can't clear it. Hartsburg keeps it in. In deep it goes to Bellows. Bellows checked by Bork. Bork falls on the puck. Penalty coming up on Ray Bork wait a minute. He is spilled on the play. Bellows is going out. I thought he was going to call Bork for handling the puck, but he was spilled by Bellows. And it is Bellows going out.
A little bit of tripping going on in the corner. Bellows got his stick mixed up with Ray Bork's skates and briefly lost his balance. Bork did. And the referee, Kerry Fraser, is giving him for holding. Now watch in the corner here. Bork makes a good play here. Right there you're going to see. And Bork goes down. Well, it wasn't his stick. It was his left hand that, as he wrapped it around Bork's stick. From our angle, it looked like he tripped him with the stick. But Bellows is off. 2 minutes and 35 seconds, first period.
So each team short a man. In 7 seconds, the Bruins will have the power play. In the Boston zone, O'Connell trying to get away from Eves and McAdam. Does. Breaks it out. Good rush. Center ice. Full strength Boston. Power play to McNab over the line. Check. Broken up. And cleared out by McAdam. Eves down the forecheck on Brad Park. Jerry Cheevers setting the power play. Park lost control for the moment, and it is taken over by McAdam, who plays it all the way back to Maxwell. And Minnesota retains possession here while shorthanded. They hit the open man, Eves. Eves breaks over the line, offside. He got the shot away. The whistle had blown anyway. Offside was Al McAdam. And the official had called it. Eves followed through with a drive. Peters made the stop.
2 penalties in the early going, 1 to each team. The Bruins survived the power play advantage, and here's Eves' drive, but it was offside, right on target, just by the goalpost. Peters reached out with a catching glove, but it would have gone for naught. The Bruins played last night after trailing 4-0 in Winnipeg, came storming back, but finally lost the game 6-5. And they will play again Tuesday night against the Los Angeles Kings in Los Angeles.
1:16 left on the penalty to Brian Bellows. 16:41 left in the scoreless first period. Peterson, McNab, Keith Crowder with Bork and O'Connell. Ferguson and Tim Young, the penalty killers. Gary Sargent, who's missed a lot of action with operations. He's had them every year. Has been out with a knee operation and returning to action first time. He's out there now. McNab, Keith Crowder, the lead for Peterson, and Bork races in. He's in there first, into the corner, behind the net, still holding it, and they back away from him. Holds it, back now to McNab, covering for him at the point. Off for Bork, Bork moving in, shot, good save. Loose puck, dug out by O'Connell, back to Bork, over to O'Connell. O'Connell fires in, deflected shot and a save, and no rebound for Peterson. Good pressure by Boston, Bork and O'Connell.
2 big stops by the guy in goal for the North Stars, Gilles Meloche. The first one was a magnificent save with the left pad as Bork was set up beautifully, counter-passing in the corner. And he finally came in on a pass from McNab and fired a low drive to the far side off the left wing. And Meloche managed to get his left pad on it.
Fergus out with Cashman, the draw back to O'Connell. He's at the left point. Moves in the middle. The shot is blocked by Young. And Young clears. Back foot Ray Bork. In pursuit, George Ferguson. Acquired from Pittsburgh. Bork sends it away to O'Connell. Mike O'Connell, center ice. Flipped it in. Cashman first in. Has it near the net. Behind the net. Drops it off to Bork at the right point. Well up from it. Cuts back, fires in, can't connect with Middleton, and Sargent broke that up. 10 seconds left. Ray Bork right back. Rick Middleton now. It's pass block. O'Connell trying to make a move. Bellows set to come out. He is out. No score. The backhander in by Mike O'Connell. Boston changing up now. Each team full strength. Maxwell moves it away on the right wing side into center ice. It rolls to Willie Plett. Plett slides it in, blocked by Peters. leads Park. Park drops it for Marty Howe, and Howe starts it up for Cashman. Center ice, off for Fergus. Fergus a shift, gets by one man, breaks in, and drops it. And a score by Rick Middleton on a beautiful rush by Tom Fergus. Beat the defenseman at the blue line, moved in, got control, and fired a perfect pass for Middleton and a 1-0 lead.
If you doubt the talent of this youngster, watch his play on Plett, using his body magnificently, in kind of tight. He scoops it over to an uncovered Rick Middleton, and Meloche was pulled completely by the play out of his net. And Middleton just threw it into the open corner. But two big plays by Tom Fergus, a defenseman, at the Minnesota blue line, and then he bodied a big guy, Willie Plett, out of the play. And at 5:06, he puts the Bruins out in front 1-0. Or Middleton did on a beautiful play by Fergus.
And Brad Palmer moving in, trying to keep it in. A shot by Krushelnyski right on Meloche for a save. And with the score, Boston 1, Minnesota 0. Let's pause for this message. Middleton, his 31st of the year. Cashman, Fergus assistant at 5:06. Boston leads it 1-0. Krushelnyski is out with Bruce Crowder and Brad Palmer. Puck cleared center ice. Howe drives it back. Picked up by Maxwell. Maxwell clears it in. Blocked for Peters, for Park. Park hit by Broughton, broken up. Broughton checked to the play, and Park off for Bruce Crowder. Crowder hits a good pass to Howe. Howe, a lead in for Bruce Crowder. Roberts going for it too. Behind the net, off in the corner. Roberts, Bomber there for checking. Down went Roberts. Bruins battle to keep it in. Bruce Crowder dug it free. Back for Howe. Screen shot blocked in front and cleared away. Off for Tom McCarthy. This is the big scoring line for Minnesota. Cicerelli knocked down by Brad Park. Can't collect. Marty Howe in the Boston corner. Checked in the play by Broughton. Jammed up there. Kicks it ahead. It's blocked. Fought for. And Bruce Crowder works it free. Can't get control at center ice. Payne coming right back. Has to start the play again. Loses. And it is fed to the Minnesota line. Brad Maxwell takes over. Gives it off to Bellows. Now for Smith. Bobby Smith wraps it in. Backward, Marty Howe. Howe up on the left, on the wing for Palmer. Palmer starts it back again, loses to Smith. Smith works it in front. It is blocked by Park. Stolen. Park feeds out to Palmer. Palmer clears it in wide of Meloche. 1-0 Boston lead. 7 minutes played, first period. Minnesota starting on the attack. Hartsburg, good pass off. Now Smith, center ice, gets it off to his winger. In deep, Payne, shot on Peters, save. In the corner, what for? Behind the net, O'Connell. Mike starts it back. Up for McTavish. A backhander in wide of Meloche. Two Bruins collide. Keith Crowder and McTavish. Biggest hit of the night so far there. Hartsburg with it, behind the net. Starting back now. Pass up. On the right wing side, it goes to Bellows. Bellows ruled offside on the play. And 12:36 left. The only score, Rick Middleton off just at the Minnesota line. Peterson has Cashman on the left, Middleton on the right. Jerry Cheevers has shaken up his lines, I believe. We'll see. Penalty there kind of affected things. Here's Ferguson breaking in, and Peters swept it away. Puck kept in, bounced wide. Peterson couldn't get it. Kluzak in the corner. Checked in the play by McAdam. Ferguson's pass blocked by Peterson, but kept in by Mandich. His shot very wide. A long rebound by Middleton. Good pass out to Peterson. Breaks with Cashman over the line. Off for Cashman, left wing side. In deep. Checked in the play by Mandich and broken up. Ferguson, who almost beat Peters, now jammed up by Middleton in the corner and by Cashman. They battle off to the right of Meloche. And Cashman out of the corner with it. Goes behind the net in front. Peterson, score! Wayne Cashman, great work. Digging it out of the corner. Move near the net. Fed in front. And Barry Peterson makes it 2-0.
An excellent play by Wayne Cashman. Watch the move now. Instead of going behind the net, he will center it out before he moves in behind the net to a waiting Barry Peterson. Stick on the ice. And before Meloche could move that left pad over, Peterson snapped it behind him. Good play here by Cashman. Takes a look around Barrett, and there's the drive, and the Bruins out in front, 2-0, as Peterson scores from Cashman.
Rick Middleton, the other score, set up by Fergus, and the lines have changed. And the puck fed in, and Peters clearing it around the boards. Krushelnyski is on that left wing, sends Fergus away. Good break again, off for Bruce Crowder, trying to beat Roberts. Moves, and he spilled on the play. In deep, Roberts gets it. Roberts out for Willie Plett. Plett fires it off on the left for McCarthy. Forced behind the net. Trying to center it. It rolls for Roberts. The shot blocked. Plett a shot. A save. 2 in a row on Plett by Pete Peters. Great work by Peters there as Willie Plett had 2 close-in drives. Face off with Peter McNab. 2-0 Boston leads. 11:17 left in the first period. And Minnesota has outshot Boston 7-4. Now moving in, Jordy Douglas, number 14. He's on with Young and Willie Plett. McTavish will take the face-off for the Bruins. An ex-center iceman, of course, gets the draw for O'Connell. Behind the net, Milbury. Milbury flattened by Willie Plett as the puck is cleared out. Oh, he gave him a shot from behind. Roberts clears it up, blocked by McNab. McNab firing in on the right wing. Douglas there, can't clear it out. Kept in Keith Crowder. His pass went outside the line behind McNab. Bruins control, Milbury with it. Milbury up for Keith Crowder. A lead now for McTavish, too far, maybe icing. And it is. 10:44 left here in the first period. The Bruins out in front 2-0 on goals by Rick Middleton and Barry Peterson. You see it on your screen, I'm sure. The address. The draw goes to O'Connell. Face off in the Bruins end. O'Connell works it out for Barry Peterson. Off with Middleton and Cashman. The lead for Middleton, right wing side. Moves into the corner, broken up by Sargent. Cashman kept it in. Peterson, Cashman, a backhander blocked in front as the Bruins press. And the North Stars work it out. Into center ice. The pass off on the left wing. Broken up now by Barry Peterson as Neil Broughton tried to move it in with McCarthy. Halfway through the first period, 2-0 Boston. Craig Hartsburg stolen by Middleton. A lead for Cashman. Breaks with Peterson. Over the line. Pass to Peterson. And he hit the post. Passes back in front. Middleton trying to stuff it home. Couldn't do it. A big one there as Cashman set up Peterson. And the Bruins almost had their third. O'Connell steals now. Center ice. Over the line with Cashman. Drops it for Cashman. For Middleton. Broken up by Cicerelli. A break for Broughton. 2 men back for Boston though. Over the line, the drop pass for the trailer. Hartsburg. He moves in. And he's broken up by Peters with a great stop. And the captain comes back. Cashman. Wayne Cashman. In the center ice and a clear in wide of Meloche. 2-0 the Bruins lead. Pass out to center ice covered by Boston. Krushelnyski is at left wing. Fergus at center and Bruce Crowder at right wing on a line change. Roberts trying to come out. The Bruins forecheck. In the center ice, Hilliard broke it up. For Bruce Crowder. Bruce Crowder off for Krushelnyski. Over the line with Fergus. Goes wide. Check. Moves it. In front. It is blocked on the play. And back comes Brian Bellows. Bellows, number 23, in the center ice. Hit there by Bourque. Broken up. And Payne has to start the play again. Maxwell. Roberts. A lead in the Boston zone, and covering it is Ray Bourque. In pursuit, Ferguson. Bourque turns the net. Passes in the center ice. Stopped by Roberts. Fergus forechecking. Krushelnyski, too. They cover a lot of ice moving in the forechecking mood. And Brad Maxwell starts it out now. Picking up speed. Big defenseman over the line. Off for Payne. The shot. The save. Peters, and he covers up. The clear out now by Krushelnyski. Rolls wide of Meloche. Will be called for icing. Face off again. Down in the Boston zone. 8:13 left in the first period. Goals by Rick Middleton and Barry Peterson.
So far in the hockey game, the Bruins passing very, very crisply. And to the open man who's on the move. And boy, that takes the flow of the play through center ice and into the Minnesota North Stars end. And the North Stars have had some good scoring opportunities. The Bruins, in addition to the 2 goals, Peterson set up beautifully once again by Cashman. Just couldn't get organized quick enough, and he hit the post.
On the draw, McNab clears it out. On the right side, Keith Crowder. Crowder takes a big hit from Sargent, and the play offside. Gary Sargent can hit, there's no question about that. And they have missed him on defense, and he has had more injuries than you can count.
You must keep your head up against this guy. He's a rock, and he does not fool easily. He does not go for those fancy fakes. He's just a solid defenseman with a good body checking motion. And when he runs into you, boy, you know you've run into something. Number 22 for the North Stars, formerly of the Los Angeles Kings. And he has had a lot of injuries over the years he's been here with the North Stars.
And the draw now to Sargent. Sargent checked by Middleton. Park breaks it up at center ice. Bruins can't get moving on it. Sargent again trying to start the play. Gary Sargent, pass up over the line for Eves. Kept in, dropped for Ferguson. Rolls near the net. Skated off by the Bruins, Brad Palmer, but he fails to move it out. Eves kept it in. He's broken up on the play. And Howe breaks it back. Howe, Peterson, tapped over the line. They fight for it. It is Ferguson trying to knock it out. Can't do it. Hartsburg now drives it up, struck McAdam. Goes to Eves. He lost it to Park. Brad Park controlling the play beautifully. Right back, a lead for Palmer, right wing side. And he's ridden off by Roberts and knocked down on the play, and Maxwell takes over. 7:20 left, first period, 2-0 Boston. Minnesota 9 shots, Boston 5. Plett, pass blocked by Brad Park, and Plett has to start it again. Now Roberts with it. A flip in. He's looking for McCarthy. Or in the corner, Young. But it's knocked up the boards. Park battling. Plett kept it in. Now Young behind the net. Centering pass swept away by the Bruins. Fought for by Fergus. Into the corner goes Plett on his right wing side. Plays it behind the net. Young centering pass skated off by Mike Milbury. Milbury rushes up the right wing side. Pass up blocked by Maxwell. Quick clear center ice, but Young can't move with it. Plett trying to start the play. Boston leading 2-0. Their goals by Middleton and by Peterson. Young starts it out. Tim Young, long lead pass on the left side. McCarthy trying to break in, centers it. It is swept away by Peters as Milbury and Plett go into the corner. Heavy action there. And Krushelnyski digs it out as Milbury pinned Plett. Mike Krushelnyski, center ice. Off on the right, Bruce Crowder lost the pass, flipped over the line. Possible offside, but Brad Maxwell starts it back. Maxwell checked by McNab, wraps it up, blocked by Milbury. Milbury to McNab. One man to beat. Barrett over the line. A shift on Barrett. Trying to cut in as Tom Fergus did when he made that great shift, but McNab couldn't do it. The puck is cleared by Minnesota. Back to cover is Ray Bourque on defense with Gord Kluzak. Broughton checking. Kluzak has to clear it out quickly, and Barrett collects. 5:43 left, first period, 2-0 the Bruins. Lead pass up for Broughton, and it's a mile offside. So the line, Bobby Smith is centering Steve Payne and Brian Bellows. McNab with McTavish and Keith Crowder. Up to the Boston line, over it, knocked away by Kluzak, and cleared away by Keith Crowder. Back is Craig Hartsburg, certainly one of the fine players in the league. Number 4 on defense. Minnesota works it out to Payne, up the left wing side. Drives it in, wide of Peters. A race, Bellows, Kluzak. 2 number 1 picks around the boards. Kluzak got it there, but it is blocked now by Barrett. Swept out, goes to Bourque. Bourque breaking in the center ice. Picking up speed over the line all alone. Goes down for a shot on Meloche, wide of the net. Bobby Smith takes over. And Keith Crowder flattened into the corner. Slow to get up as Minnesota comes back. A lead pass on the right for Bellows. Keith Crowder just getting back into the flow. Bobby Smith broken up on the play. McTavish digs it free. Gives it now to Milbury. Milbury up center ice. Fired in wide. First to collect, McNab. Check. McTavish. He's stopped. And Minnesota trying to come out. Middleton coming on. Milbury breaks it up. Fires one. It's blocked. Milbury gets it back. A big shot. It is blocked again in front. And cleared away now. Again by Minnesota. Racing Ferguson. Milbury broke him up. McNab to O'Connell. Up to Cashman, who's played a solid game at left wing. Set up 1 goal on about 3 shifts out there. And has figured in both goals. 2 assists. Out comes Ferguson on a good pass play. A lead for Eves. Too far. Into the corner. McAdam and O'Connell. They battle. Off to the right of Peters. Cashman back. Jamming in the corner. Hoping for a face-off, and he gets it by pinning the puck with his right skate. And we're in the first period with the score. Boston 2 and Minnesota nothing. Right to Pete Peters. 3:57 left in the first period. Eves on the draw with Peterson, and one back for Roberts. Shot blocked by Middleton and knocked out of the zone. Hartsburg has to start it again. Eves is out with Ferguson and with McAdam. Eves works it over the line. Passes in deep. Cashman there to collect. Wayne Cashman, a strong game. Fires it out of the zone. Can't connect with Middleton. He's trying to steal on Hartsburg. Couldn't quite do it. The Bruins jam it up at center ice. Hartsburg starting to play. Greg Hartsburg. That would have been offside. It might be icing anyway. Oh, they wave off the icing, and Plett keeps it in. Drops it for Hartsburg. Can't get the shot away. And when he does, it's blocked by Milbury, Cashman, Peterson. Peterson quickly clears it out. This could be icy. May not make the goal line, though. Just barely. And icing call with 3 minutes left of the first period.
Today, one afternoon game. The Rangers at Philadelphia. The Flyers won that one by a score of 8-5. Calgary's at Toronto, Chicago at Hartford, Quebec at St. Louis, Edmonton at Pittsburgh, Washington at Los Angeles.
Shot blocked, but now Sargent kept it in at the point. Here is a hooking call. Willie Plett hooked Bruce Crowder. And Willie Plett is going off for hooking. The Bruins will have a power play with 2:53 left in the first period. The faceoff will be outside the Boston blue line.
Willie Plett for hooking. 17 minutes, 7 seconds into the first period. And the Bruins will have their second power play opportunity. That's Willie Plett. Now watch 32, Bruce Crowder get hooked right there. Sometimes that hooking can be as much the other guy holding the stick of the other player. He feels it right there, so he just squeezes his arm a little, and the force of the stick and the pull send them flying, and what happens is he draws the penalty. The referee doesn't know that he's holding onto the stick with his arm, but could have happened there, we don't know. But Plett's off. 17:07.
Chances are with Willie Plett it didn't happen. He has a reputation, a rugged player. The puck is cleared by the North Stars. Park and Bork play the points. The Bruins lead 2-0. 2:40 left in the first period. Peterson out, Keith Crowder and McNab. McNab up the left wing side. Drives in, looking for it. Keith Crowder has it. Knocked down by Barrett. Dug out, Peterson back for Park at the point. Off now to right wing side, McNab. McNab into Peterson. Harry Peterson holding. Drops it for Park. Park over to Bork. Back to Park. Park. Pass blocked by Tim Young. Young into center ice. And Bork breaks it up on Ferguson. Right back with a threat here. Ray Bork over the line. Passes off for Peterson. Has to chase the pass. Keeps it in for Keith Crowder. Back for Peterson. Flip for Bork. Bork lost it. Gives it now to Peterson. Cuts in front. McNab a shot. Right shoulder save. Meloche beautifully set up. And it's scored by Peter McNab as it bounced free at the crease. And Peter McNab, a power play goal, makes it 3-0 Boston after he had been stopped on the nice setup by
the kind of passing and the kind of breaks in the last two games the Bruins couldn't come up with. That good passing here sets his play up. A bouncing puck. Watch McNab with his stick. And he reached out and just nudged it in behind Gilles Meloche. Watch McNab with a drive. Meloche caught up with that one on the backhand glove. Watch the bouncing puck. And here comes Peter McNab off the right side and just reaches out and touches it. And underneath it goes, and the Bruins lead 3-0.
Now the play offside coming over the Boston blue line, and a little bit of an argument here. Gary Frazier talking to Dino Ciccarelli. And Ciccarelli might have said something to him, and Ciccarelli is going, no, he's going out for slashing. Ciccarelli out for slashing. Another power play for Boston with 1:44 left.
A little bit of frustration possibly setting in with the North Stars. They're down 3-0 at this point, but you can never discount them. They have a pretty fair hockey team, and they have lost only 3 games here at the Met Center. In the last 5, they are undefeated. 3 wins and 2 ties, but Ciccarelli draws a 2-minute penalty for slashing. And that comes at 18-16.
Boston leading 3-0. On the goal, Peter McNab will check out the assist. Puck is cleared by the North Stars. Peters gets it around to Ray Bork. Up for Middleton. Now Ray Bork starts it back. In the middle. Bork over the line. Flipped it in deep. Eves and Cashman go to the corner. Cashman checking Middleton too over there. They battle. Middleton fires it back. Bork fakes, passes. Cashman trying to bang it home, and almost Tom Fergus there. And Cashman came oh so close on a setup from Ray Bork. In the middle, O'Connell a drive and a big stop there. O'Connell gets his own rebound, closes, drops it off for Fergus. Back for Bork. Bork for O'Connell over to Middleton. Middleton in deep. Fergus trying to wrap it in. Can't. Near the net, Cashman fights for it. Had it free, but the whistle blew quickly. And that is a real demonstration of a power play.
We talked at the top of the telecast, Fred, about execution and passing to the right man. The Bruins in this first period are doing it to perfection, something we did not see in the last 2 games, and that by their own admission in terms of the pass selection. We look at Murray Oliver replacing Glenn Sonmore as coach of the Minnesota North Stars, but the Bruins operating extremely efficiently here, lead 3-0 on goals by Middleton, Peterson, and McNab. McNab's the most recent on the power play. They are 48th of the year.
Peterson back to Bourque. Bourque along the blue line, off to O'Connell. O'Connell clears it in deep. Peterson there to Middleton. Middleton stick handling, maneuvering, off for O'Connell. A shot, a save. Meloche hangs on. 41 seconds left in the period. 57 seconds left on the Cicerelli penalty as the Bruins continue the pressure, and the shots are even now 10 apiece. And Minnesota has not had too many shots on Peters in the last, I would say, 7-8 minutes.
They had 9 about that time ago, Fred. They only have 10 now, so that would be a total of 1. Boston has been helped naturally by the 2 penalties, Plett and then Cicerelli, who's in the penalty box at this moment.
McNab is out there, Keith Crowder and Peterson, Bourque and Park. 41 seconds left in the period, 3-0 Bruins. The draw to Bourque. Bourque wheel shoots, save! Meloche, big one. In the corner, Peterson back for Bourque. Bourque holding. Back in for Peterson, has to chase it to the corner. Center it, near the net, block. Digs it out for Bourque, a rolling puck. High shot, struck a player. Deflects behind the net. Off in the corner, it's McNab. Excellent power play. Peterson has lost his stick. Flip pass, Park. Park a shot, big save, Meloche. And the rebound over on the boards in the corner. And face-off being called to the right of Meloche as a Minnesota player reached up and batted it down. And Peterson had lost his stick, which destroyed the effectiveness of the power play just momentarily. But the Bruins really keeping the heat on. Gilles Meloche. They have 12 shots to 10 now with 13 seconds left in the period. McNab out, Peterson, Middleton, Bourque, and Park. McNab and Eaves. Peterson back to Bourque. Bourque holding. Into Peterson. Peterson trying to make the play. Back for Bourque. Time running down. Hit the post. Oh, that would have been a big one for Boston. And the puck kept in by Bourque, but time runs out. Ray Bourque rang one off the post. And he came that close to making it 4-0. Score at the end of the first period is Boston 3, Minnesota 0. Stay tuned for our first intermission, featuring Dana Hersey with a look at some upcoming Movie Loft features. Then Charlestown meets Pembroke in mini 1-on-1 hockey action. For Boston, Park for Rick Middleton. Middleton jammed up at the line, gets it over. It's knocked away quickly by Minnesota. All the way behind the Bruins net. Ray Bourque there. Neil Broughton checking. The penalty is up. Out comes Middleton. A flip for Cashman. It bounces away, and Maxwell has it. Over to Roberts. Maxwell, and he works it out. Fires in. Blocked by Peters. Control for Bourque. Fed up to Peterson, and the Bruins work it right out. A lead for Cashman. He's checked in the play. Battles for it. Tipped it over the line. And they're going to call the delayed offside. And Joey Cheever's changing his lines, giving Cashman a fairly regular shift with Peterson and Middleton, and he has figured in the first 2 Boston goals, Wayne Cashman, and has Krushelnyski at left wing with Peter McNab and Keith Crowder.
And the 2 assists on that last goal that Peter McNab scored on the power play, Peterson and Bourque, for the Bruins, their 48th power play goal of the year.
And let's correct that. It's still the McNab, McTavish, Keith Crowder line, as Krushelnyski has joined Fergus. Mandich with it behind the net. Out of Bobby Smith. And the lead out on the right side to Bellows. In pursuit, McTavish. Bellows goes wide, still with it. Swung a pass off on the left. Hartsburg a shot. Save Peters. Rebound. Goes wide. In the corner. Picked up by Minnesota. Kane jammed by McTavish. O'Connell. And to tie it up. Able to help out Bobby Smith. His pass tipped away by Peter McNab. Wide of Meloche. They wave off the icing. I think it just went through a corner of the crease. Clear-out pass stopped by Mike Milbury. Now Fergus gets it. Milbury out in the center ice. Krushelnyski tapped in wide of Meloche, and icing called on this play.
Center. The Bruins ultimately won the game by a score of 5-3, but O'Reilly had that knee injury.
Big stop on Sargent. A hard drive on Peters, and he was able to tie it up. No rebound as Gary Sargent blistered that from the right point. He's on defense with Barrett, and the line is Eves, Ferguson, and McAdam. On the faceoff for Boston, Mike Krushelnyski. Boston leads 3-0, opening minutes of the second period. Draw back for Howe. Howe up for Bruce Crowder. He's rattled by a Barrett check. And Sargent takes over. Pass up now. Over the line, it floats to Marty Howe. Howe clears it out. The deflection down wide of Meloche. And icing called on the Bruins again. This is the second time they've been called for icing. Faceoff is to the right of Peters after that icing. The second by the Bruins in the second period. And the draw. Blocked. Douglas blocked. Out comes Krushelnyski. Pokes it ahead and too far. Rolls all the way to Meloche. Came out of the net. And in Pete Peters style, he fired this one up and over the dasher. And I want to say hello to Leo White's son. He handles all our stats, graphics back in Boston. Understand he's okay after falling through the ice. John, you fell through the ice many times, no? Outdoor skating?
Yeah, that's kind of dangerous, though. I tell you, this time of year, get a lot of mild weather when you normally are thinking of cold weather. And ice can be very, very dangerous. We understand he's okay, and that's great news.
Peterson on the draw. Cashman back for Bourque. Over to Randy Hillier. The shot deflected over the head of Meloche. Maxwell checked by Cashman and broken up. Cashman's tripped by Maxwell. Middleton fighting to keep it in. And he does. Moves it across. Peterson can't get it. Middleton does in. Tipped by Peterson. Big save. Meloche. Fed back by Peterson, and Meloche ties it up. And Peterson, Middleton, Cashman moving the puck beautifully. And a threat for another score for Boston.
Soft touch passing, and nobody does it any better than that guy, combined with number 16, Rick Middleton. Watch this beautiful little soft passing. Middleton across to Peterson, and he tried to tip it underneath Meloche, but it just would not go. And a spectacular passing between 10 and 16 for the Bruins.
Willie Plett on the draw with Peterson. Face-offs are tough. Plett, I think, is the third man in there for Minnesota now. And he just muscles Peterson out of there. The puck goes to Roberts. Around for Plett. Cleared out, covered by Bourque. Bourque up for Cashman. For Peterson. Peterson lost control. Gets it again away from Roberts. Then is broken up. And Maxwell takes over. We played 3 minutes of the second period. Boston leads. Out comes Plett up the middle. Fires in wide. The rebound in front. Skated off by Bourque. Bourque fires it up and out with a good play by Wayne Cashman, who cleared it down to Gilles Meloche. Winding up again. It is Maxwell. The clear out this time stopped by Randy Hillier. And over to Ray Bourque. Bourque, of course, at left defense now with Hillier out there. Lead in. McTavish hustling after it. But Maxwell gets it. For Plett, a steal by the Bruins, but they can't convert it. And Roberts takes over. Pass out now to Douglas. For Maxwell, he's broken up. And McNab almost sent McTavish in. Long lead pass for Willie Plett. Bounces away into the Boston end. Minnesota changing up, and O'Connell has it. O'Connell broken up by Cicerelli, but gets it back. Flips it out of the zone. It is stopped by Broughton. He's broken up by Milbury. Keith Crowder to Mike Milbury. Now to O'Connell. Up for Keith Crowder. Tripped. And Hartsburg gets it away. Now to Cicerelli. Broughton breaking with McCarthy. Broughton stops, cuts, falls down. And the Bruins, McTavish right back to the open man, Keith Crowder. Up the middle, over the line. Drops it for McNab. The shot. Save, rebound, and it is tied up by Meloche.
Crowder to Peter McNab, trailing behind him inside the Minnesota North Stars blue line, and he got a good shot away, and Meloche came up with a big stop.
Fergus is out with Bruce Crowder and Krushelnyski. That's the new line. And back to Park. Park shot wide. Long rebound. Fergus hustles, keeps it in. Pass up. Bounced away over on the other side. Brad Park moves up the boards, pokes it free. Check. Battles. Knocked it in deeper. Bruce Crowder centered. Krushelnyski pushed it across, and Bellows intercepts. A lead pass out to Smith. Up for Kane. Kane back for Bellows. Bellows was covered by who else? Tom Fergus. The play was offside, but you can really appreciate that Fergus, the way he back checks.
And one of the reasons that the play was offside was that Fergus forced Bellows to break sooner than he would want to, because he had to make an effort to stay ahead of Tom Fergus. And so he threw himself offside. The puck did not move quick enough through that center ice area at the Boston blue line, but a nice play by Fergus.
And the draw to Boston, and Park into center ice. Off for Krushelnyski. He is bumped by Barrett. Clears it over the line. Bellows winding up. Off for Steve Payne, the left winger on the line. Back for Bellows. The lead for Payne. Payne breaks in deep. Checked by Park to the corner. Fought for. Park knocked down. Fergus battling for it. Now Smith with it. He's got a long reach. To Bellows. The shot, the save, Peters. And the Bruins fire it out. As Bellows put that one right on, headed for the far corner. And this will be icing called against the Bruins. Peters made a beautiful move there with the left pad.
One thing this youngster has, wearing number 23 for the Minnesota North Stars, is a tremendous shot. He really knows where the net is, and he can thread a needle. Gets it away quick. And Bobby Smith set him up nicely from the corner. He came in off the left wing, got a good shot away. And Peters managed to get the left pad on it, and then Park cleared it down the full length of the ice. But Brian Bellows, make no mistake about it, has a very good shot.
Peterson on the faceoff with Eves, and the draw to Ferguson. Ferguson, Maxwell, shot, save. Peters, rebound, Bork. Up the boards. Middleton trying to move it out. Peterson does. Good shift. Breaks. 2-on-1 for the moment. And Roberts trying to check him, and he drops it. Middleton able to keep it in. Didn't quite connect with Middleton. Made a very heady play. Lead pass out for Eves. Too far. Bork takes over. Bork right away. Left wing side. Luke Dufour with Peterson. The pass is blocked by Gordy Roberts. Luke Dufour, first appearance at left wing. Now Roberts back. Flips it in as the Bruins are massed along the line. Toward Kluzak. Fires it out. It will be called for icing. This is the fourth icing against the Bruins. As Maxwell moves back on it. 13:42 left in the second period. And as Jerry Cheevers would say, it's not our job to put on the show here.
Well, Jerry Cheevers may be looking for a little more balance in his scoring lines by moving Krushelnyski with Bruce Crowder and Tom Fergus, and using Cashman and Luke Dufour a little bit on the line with Barry Peterson and Rick Middleton.
And the draw goes to Milbury. The goal scorers, Middleton, Peterson, and McNab, a power play. Milbury works it out. Tipped over the Minnesota line, and backboard is Tim Young. Young's pass blocked by Keith Crowder. Bruins fight to keep it in. They do. Up on the boards. Batted away, though, and Young has it. Young winding up behind the net. Has Jordy Douglas at left wing. Bruins steal inside the line. McNab can't set up a play. Platt can't move it out. As Keith Crowder forechecks. Hartsburg trying to come out. Keith Crowder pinned him in there. Still battles. McNab in. And McNab digs it free. McNab tried to set up Milbury, couldn't do it. Boy, that's significant to see Keith Crowder handle Hartsburg. Excellent player. At the Boston end, Mike O'Connell misfires. Kept in by Douglas for Platt. Platt, centering pass, blocked. Knocked away by Peters. That almost went home. And the Bruins able to tip it out, and here's 2-on-1. McNab, Keith Crowder with Hartsburg back. Off for Keith Crowder. He scores. A beautiful backhander by Keith Crowder. Set up by Peter McNab on a 2-on-1 break. An excellent move by Keith Crowder, and the Bruins lead 4-0.
The North Stars missed at one end. Watch this beautiful little flip pass over the stick of Hartsburg, and here comes Keith Crowder, and he takes it to the backhand. Meloche goes down a little quickly, and the little soft backhander up over the right pad. Watch right there. Beautiful backhander by Crowder. And at 7:23 of the second period, the Bruins take a 4-0 lead over the North Stars. Keith Crowder from Peter McNab here at the Met Center.
4-0 Boston. Cicerelli keeps it in to Broughton. Broughton can't move in. Puck kept in now by McCarthy and poked out by Krushelnyski. Simply outreached him. 27th of the year for Keith Crowder. Now Sargent starting to play. Off for Broughton, one of the fine players for Minnesota. He's over the line with a real threat. Gets it off to McCarthy. Moves in and Peters blocked it. Cicerelli fired and Peters down. Made the save. 2 in a row. Now in the corner. Jammed up. Behind the net. Broughton trying to get away. Battling in Fergus. And a penalty on Fergus for holding. Fergus going out for holding. Bruins lead it 4-0. And from Bloomington, the score, Boston 4 and Minnesota 0.
Of the first period, they draw the first penalty of the second period. Tom Fergus, this time for holding at 8:06.
Bobby Smith is centering Brian Bellows and Steve Payne with Craig Hartsburg. And at the right point, Tim Young. Young drives it in. Around the boards. Payne going for it. Payne has it. Back for Young. Over to Hartsburg. Or Young again. Big shot and a big save by Peters from the blue line. Young controls it again. Checked by Middleton, but it's off for Bellows. Bellows' pass goes behind the net. Payne there for it. Payne checked by Bork. Middleton. Middleton starting it out. Can't get it. Right back. Big steal by Brad Park. And he's able to clear it. Boy, in traffic, what poise by Park. What experience. He just held that puck till he got good control, then cleared it out. Back comes Young. Power play Minnesota. A quick clear in. Bounces for Bobby Smith. Into the corner. Behind the net. Bellows missed it. Middleton, Peterson, and they quickly clear it out. 1:05 left. Minnesota power play. Pass back over the line looking for Payne. Out of the net. Peters clears it off in the corner. Fought for there. Payne. Park. Park jammed up. Lost it. Bellows gets it. Pass back. Blocked by Park. Gives it to Peterson. And Peterson takes his time coming out. Just flips it in to the Minnesota end. 40 seconds left. And Milbury and O'Connell play defense. Krushelnyski and Palmer up front. Penalty killers. Young, a lead pass. Back for Plett. Behind the net. O'Connell. Broughton. One of the best players. Hit by Milbury hard. They fight for it. And Broughton gets it off in the corner. Neil Broughton stick handling. Passing. He handed it to Palmer. 17 seconds left on the Minnesota power play. Almost halfway through the game, Boston leads 4-0. 3 goals in the first period, 1 here in the second by Keith Crowder. Gordy Roberts, the clear in. Willie Plett in deep. Plett around the boards. Full strength Boston. The puck goes out to center ice. Picked up by Palmer. Palmer over the line. Stops, cuts. Off for Fergus. Back for Palmer. In front, the shot deflected by Roberts into the stands. And a face-off call. We're watching Bruins hockey from Bloomington. Craig McTavish and Keith Crowder with O'Connell and Milbury. Draw to Maxwell. Up for Ferguson. Broken up by Milbury. Right back come the Bruins. McNab over the line. Lost control. And Gordy Roberts for Minnesota. Forechecking. McTavish almost stole. Still battling in deep on Maxwell. Keith Crowder jamming in there. McAdam forced to clear out. O'Connell to McNab. Fed back over the line. Roberts takes over. Now McAdam up over the Boston line. Milbury dug it free for Mike O'Connell. They know just where they're going to be, and they work it out nicely now. McNab breaks. 3-on-2 for the moment. Stops, cuts, gives it to Keith Crowder, and he was just checked. Steal by McNab, right back in. The backhander blocked. What a chance Peter had there. Backhand blocked by Brad Maxwell. McAdam trying to come out. The Bruins forecheck. Right point, O'Connell kept it in. Up the boards. Battling, that's knocked away, but McNab covers behind him. Flips it back in. Boston changes. And over the line. Battling into the corner, Cicerelli. Ridden off. That was Eaves, not Cicerelli, and now McNab breaks it out. McNab almost went off on the line change. He's still out there. Boston can't get it. Brian Bellows over the line. Stopped by O'Connell. O'Connell ices it. And the purpose of this is to get the personnel organized for Boston. And tomorrow afternoon, TV 38 brings you a great movie lineup. It all starts at noon with the romantic comedy Barefoot in the Park. Then at 2 o'clock, the comedy continues with the movie version of The Odd Couple. Finally, at 4 o'clock, the great musical Hello, Dolly. It's a great afternoon of entertainment, so tune in tomorrow to WSBK TV 38, tomorrow afternoon. 8:12 left, second period, 4-0 Boston. Hartsburg shot, blocked, trickles in. Covered by Park. Park trying to move it out, stopped. Stolen by Fergus, though, and Krushelnyski gets it out. Play at center ice, Bruce Crowder able to flip it in. Gary Sargent back in action, has it behind the net. Hartsburg up for Payne. Payne hit by Park, but they break it out. Possible 2-on-1, a lead, and what back checking by Krushelnyski, and he's being called for a penalty. Mike Krushelnyski for holding, but he really came back on that one. And second period action will continue from Bloomington in just a moment.
For holding at 12:19, and both of the two minor penalties here in the second period have gone against the Bruins.
Peterson on the draw with Broughton. Back for Roberts. Roberts clears it in the corner. Bork goes for it. Can't clear it out. Kept in by McCarthy. He's broken up. A lead. Here's Middleton. A break on Roberts. He's trying to get ahead of him. Roberts getting back and broke up the play. Big defensive play by Roberts as Middleton spurted out of the Bruins end. Roberts back for the flip in. Bork hustles back. Golfs it up the boards, but it is kept in by McCarthy. In for Plett. He's broken up. Back it goes to McCarthy. Feeds in deep. Bork is there ahead of Broughton. Bork trying to move it out. Hit. Battles. Pokes it up the boards. It's taken by Minnesota. Back to McCarthy along the blue line. Over to Gordy Roberts. Moves up from the point. A pass in. And it bounces away. Middleton trying to move it out with Palmer, and he does. Fine defensive work by Rick Middleton. Jerry Cheever says should be a candidate for the Selke Award. Defensive forward, that is. Won by Steve Casper last year. Rushing now, Smith. Stick handles over the line. Drops it for Hartsburg. Hartsburg clears in wide. Smith in the corner. Back for Hartsburg. A shot. He missed the net. Rebound. Palmer able to golf it out on a key play. 40 seconds left. Minnesota power play. 6:20 left. Second period. 4-0 the Bruins. Back comes Hartsburg. Moving well. Works it over the line. And then is broken up. Tried to stick handle in against the four men.
Almost impossible to try to stick handle by yourself through that maze of players.
Bobby Smith may try it. Let's watch it. Good stick handle. No, tries the pass off for Payne. And it is offside. He telegraphed that pass. And Bobby Smith, key man, you might say, a franchise. Really good Steve Payne, but Bobby Smith, a lot of unrest here. And he says maybe I should be traded. He was benched in several games. Hard to believe.
It really is, Fred, because when he came on the scene, he was listed as one of those players, quote unquote, that can make a franchise, and he can be a big player. But when you're unhappy, sometimes that talent does not come to the front where you can use it. And right at this moment, I would say Bobby Smith is less of a player because of the internal unrest in terms of his contribution.
Draw back to Milbury. He's able to clear it. Goal scorers Rick Middleton, Barry Peterson, Peter McNab a power play, and Keith Crowder here in the second period. 5:47 left second period. Tim Young still power play. It's almost up though. The clear in wide of Peters. He lets it go, and O'Connell back trying to golf it out. Check. Kept in. Full strength Boston. Battle in the zone though, and a drive. Milbury made the save, and Peterson able to backhand it out. Krushelnyski looking for that loose puck. Can't get it at center ice. Back comes Payne over the line. Pass blocked by Middleton for Krushelnyski. Krushelnyski can't set up Rick Middleton. Playing the Minnesota end, and Middleton forechecks near the net. It bounces away from him. Krushelnyski in there battling for it. He's just out of the penalty box. Knocked down on the play. McAdam trying to come out. Middleton checks him. 5 minutes left, second period. 4-0 Boston. Maxwell a pass up. Blocked. Krushelnyski trying to break in was McTavish. Almost did. Now they work it out center ice, and it's covered by Bruce Crowder. Over now on the left wing to McTavish. McTavish takes the hit from Maxwell and clears it in wide of Meloche. Shots are 18 Minnesota, 17 Boston. The Bruins keep it in. Maxwell ices it. First time by the North Stars. Very effective penalty killing by Boston. And we're in the second period with the score. The Bruins 4, the North Stars 0. Centering Keith Crowder and Craig McTavish. 4:35 left, second period. Sargent starts it away. Pass up, blocked beautifully by Park. Cleared away. Stolen by McAdam. Shot in wide. Rebound, Keith Crowder. Crowder spins it. Not out. Stopped by Hartsburg. Shot, save. And McAdam the backhander on the rebound. And it missed the net, and the Bruins. Marty Howe clears it all the way to Meloche. Great chance from McAdam. One of the rare rebounds for Minnesota. Long pass up on the right for Cicerelli. He's hit immediately by Howe. Back to cover the puck. Park. Park. Gives it off now to McTavish. Now to Marty Howe. Up to McNab. Pass up, stop. Hartsburg starts it back. Rushes. Clears in. It trickles to Peters, and he just covers up. 3:39 left, second period, 4-0 Boston.
Looking at the game from the Minnesota North Stars point of view, so far in the game, they have done what the Bruins had been doing over the past 2 games. Not passing the puck crisply. Here's McAdam with a drive. Took it to the backhander. That was a good move, but I think he hit the stick of Brad Park, which deflected it wide. But that was a good move to improve his angle. He kept the puck just a little too far out in front of him. You got to keep it close to you when you go to fire that backhand so you can get that good sweeping motion. But the North Stars are not passing crisply, and they're not passing it to the open man. They're confusing their own game by throwing it to a man who's already covered, and of course that destroys that momentum that you're trying to build up. That was the Bruins' slight problem in the 2 previous games, but not so here tonight.
And this one rolls right across in front of Pete Peters. Neil Broughton in pursuit, and he fell over him, and Peters had it pretty well tied up. But now another face-off call to the left of Pete Peters. Neil Broughton, number 7, very effective player, and this line has been all season long. Broughton, McCarthy, and Cicerelli. Now McCarthy will take the draw with Tom Fergus. Fergus, big play, set up the first goal, along with Wayne Cashman. And Cashman figured in the second one to Peterson. And McNab a power play, and then McNab set up Keith Crowder in the second period, and breaking Fergus. Slides it in, rolls to Meloche. Roberts, quick clear out, doesn't go out. O'Connell kept it in, bounced one wide. Roberts trying to come out, checked. Pushalinsky has it. He's broken up. And Roberts can't get moving. Bruce Crowder in on Maxwell, takes him out of the play. So Roberts trying to move it out, and he's checked. Pushalinsky battling. Finally, Broughton takes over. Neil Broughton breaks with Cicerelli. Up the middle, a threat. Cicerelli. Back for Broughton. Shot blocked by Mike O'Connell. Great play. O'Connell dove and blocked the pass or shot. And Bruce Crowder right back, center ice. Long shot, lost by Meloche. But Maxwell covers the rebound. Back comes Neil Broughton again with Cicerelli. Neil Broughton, beautiful stick handle. Checked by Milbury. Moves it in deep, and his shot missed the net. Middleton there. Trying to sweep it out. Can't. Gets control, though, and now flips it out. 2:25 left, second period, 4-0 Boston. This one should be icing. Face-off in the Minnesota end. Coming up in our second intermission, Tom Larson will test your hockey knowledge with a trivia question. Johnny Pearson will talk with Rick Middleton. After that, Tom returns with today's sports news on Sports Update.
Other games in the National Hockey League. The Philadelphia Flyers beat the Rangers 8-5. The New York Islanders beat the Montreal Canadiens 5-0. The Nordiques lead St. Louis 2-0. And the Toronto Maple Leafs are at home against Calgary. Second period, it's 4-1.
Peterson on the draw, off to the right of Meloche. A battle for it. Middleton with it. A shot, save! Batted down by Meloche as Middleton put that one right on. Douglas away to Willie Plett. Plett over the line. Wraps it in deep. Mark takes over. And Peterson trying to clear it out. Stopped by Douglas. Douglas to Young. Kept in at the line, they say, by Sargent. His shot missed the net. Trickles back in front. Peters covers up on Jordy Douglas. Got it off the backboards and put a backhander in, and Peters made the stop. 1:52 left, second period.
There was a slight pause because I think the Bruins felt the play was offside at their own blue line, but here's a bouncing puck and a turnaround backhander by Jordy Douglas, number 14 for the North Stars, but Pete Peters was right there to grab it. We do not see Peters go down very often, but he did in that case to grab that loose bouncing puck. 1:52 left in the second period.
And Barrett a shot, and that hits somebody and hurt. Middleton maybe. Putt in the corner. Battling Park. Still battling. Putt. Park again. Off to the right of Peters. Helping out Young. All the players in the corner, and the Bruins will take that. Now Peterson takes it and breaks it out. A 2-on-2. Peterson coming on Barrett. Knocked down by Barrett. And Minnesota starts it out. Tim Young. Broken up. Krushelnyski. A steal. McNab. A flip. A score by Keith Crowder again. Beautiful play set up by Krushelnyski and Peter McNab. Keith Crowder's second, is 28th of the year. And the Bruins lead 5-0.
Take advantage of the opportunities presented to you by the good forechecking. Krushelnyski works hard. Gets it over to McNab. A beautiful little flip pass. And a touch drive by Keith Crowder. Just knew he had to get it up over the two pads that were coming from Meloche. Watch this. Just get it up. And he just tossed it over him. And the Bruins out in front 5-0. 18:47 second period. McNab and Krushelnyski assisting on the goal by Crowder.
And McTavish moves it over the line and is broken up. And back comes Payne to clear in wide. Milbury on the rebound. Check. Minute left in the period and a mock cheer from the fans. Round to the left of Peters. Milbury going for it. Trying to move it out. Can't. A battle on the boards. Flipped in. Stopped by O'Connell. Bruins clear it out. McTavish in a race with Hartsburg. Hauls him down. Picking it up. Keith Crowder. And they say McTavish was offside. Face off outside the line. A penalty coming up here. A holding call on Craig McTavish. And Boston will be shorthanded. 36 seconds left in the second period. The shots to this point, 22 for Minnesota and 21 for Boston.
That last goal, Keith Crowder, his 28th of the year and second goal here in the second period from Krushelnyski and McNab at 18:47. And McTavish draws the third penalty of the second period against the Bruins for holding at 19:24.
Peterson out with Middleton, Milbury, and O'Connell. Keith Crowder, going back to last night's game, if you were watching, the Bruins scored with 1 second left. We called it Hillier. I still think it was. The goal had to be given to Keith Crowder the way his goal total is now. A drive in, O'Connell a rebound, and a quick clear out. Time running out in the period, 20 seconds left. Back with Maxwell. Boston leads 5-0. Second period almost concluded. Brad Maxwell carries. And Brian Bellows is offside, and there's that play again.
Well, that's what it does when that man tries to carry through those four players all lined up. He has to change direction. Somebody's going to get to him, so he has to shift one way or the other. When you shift, you delay the puck being taken across the blue line, and if those wingmen are flying, you've got to throw it in or you're in trouble.
Milbury clears. That will just about do it in the period. 6 seconds left. Hartsburg starts it back and shoots wide of Peters as the buzzer sounds, and the period ends. Shots in that period, Boston 10 and Minnesota 12. And the score at the end of the second period, the Boston Bruins 5, the Minnesota North Stars nothing. Stay tuned for our second intermission, featuring an interview with Rick Middleton. Then Tom Lawson brings you the latest sports news on Sports Update.
Periods. Bruins 5, Minnesota nothing. John Pearson will be talking with Rick Middleton coming up during this intermission, and we'll check the day's sports too on our sports update. But we have trivia for the night. First, name the last and possibly the only Bruins player to score a hat trick in his first game with the Bruins. The last, possibly the only player to score a hat trick in his first game as a Bruin. We'll have the answer to that one later in our intermission. Let's go to John Pearson now for his intermission talk with Rick Middleton.
All right, thanks, Tom. Rick, Middleton, after a slow start, things seem to be falling in place for you. How about the basic timing in terms of the start of the season?
Well, in comparison to last season, it wasn't anywhere near it. It wasn't a dead start, but I wasn't happy with the way I was playing. And statistically, it was, you know, everybody looks at statistics, and I didn't have the start like last season. So I was concentrating more on defense and not getting scored on, and that was taken away from my offense also. It was like give and take, you know, and I figured the more I concentrated on not getting scored on, sooner or later my offense would turn around. I started thinking and listening to the coaches, and I found that I wasn't penetrating. I was hanging back too much, third man back. We always stressed that, and I was always trying to be the third man back because I wasn't scoring. I didn't want to get scored on. So finally I said, forget it, and I'm just going to go in and be the first man in for a change. And all of a sudden, things started turning around, and Barry went on that big streak when we started playing Montreal there, and we haven't turned back since.
Well, 51 goals last season, that's quite a mark. Did you think about that at the start of the season? Did that bother you at all in terms of what were you going to do for an encore?
Not really, not really. As they say, you know, you get 51 year, they want 60 the next, and, you know, it would have been nice, but it didn't work out that way, and it didn't really bother me so much. Last year was the first year I've got more goals and assists in a year, but all of a sudden I'm a goal scorer, you know. And, I just like to contribute. In the beginning of the year, I wasn't contributing that much, but guys like Normie Leveille and Fergus and Cruz and everybody was pulling together, and that's why we're in first spot right now.
Well, you know, you talk about having a slow start, but you now have 30 goals. You could conceivably get 40 to 45. That wouldn't be a bad season for you.
No, no. It'd be, you know, typical as of the last few seasons, except for last year when I got the 51, but I'd be totally happy with that. And the last couple of games, I've been struggling a little bit. And, you know, when you lose a couple by one goals, you start thinking about things and getting a little jumpy, and that's the way I was at the beginning of the year. So now I just have to concentrate on relaxing and taking the right shot and not jumping at the puck.
Rick, we talk a lot about two-way hockey players, both offensively and defensively. The defensive end of hockey is very important. We don't see a lot of it in terms of the scoring forwards, but you have been excellent at that for most of the years you've been with the Boston Bruins. Does that take a lot of discipline and concentration?
It takes a lot of concentration. Don helped me a lot in that respect, as I said before.
Don Cherry?
Yeah, Don Cherry. And, he actually helped me offensively also, as I've said many times. If you're back with your winger and checking in your own end, you come out a lot faster. If you're always standing up around center ice waiting for the puck, you have no speed. So if you come back in your own zone with your man and check, and if the puck turns over onto one of your own man's stick, you're back in there and you're able to gain speed coming out of your own zone, and I found it opened my offensive game up also.
Do you feel that timing is as important on defense as it is on offense?
Oh, definitely. You know, when you're in there and you're trying to score, you're hanging around the net or you're in behind the net and you're deep in the corners. If you just keep staying deep all the time, you're going to be chasing that guy all night because he's going to be up at the blue line breaking. So you have to know when the puck is going to change over right away in order to get back.
Of course, playing with a guy like Barry Peterson and Mike Krushelnyski doesn't harm things, does it?
Not at all, not at all. And offensively, we've been doing very well, but I think defensively, Cruz has improved an awful lot because it's really the winger's job to get back that third man. So if the puck's in his corner, I'm usually hanging out a little bit. Puck's in my corner, I have to depend on him being back there, and we haven't made too many mistakes.
Quickly, Barry Peterson and you have a tremendous feel for each other. You both have a lot of talent, but is there more to it than just the talent?
Well, I think it's because we're both quite the same style of hockey player. Sometimes you learn how to play with a person, but when you're two similar styles, it makes it a lot easier. And we're both right-handed shots. I thought it might be a little problem for him to get the puck over to me being right-handed, but he turns both ways very easily.
Rick, I want to thank you very much. Nice to have you with us.
Pleasure, Jim.
Rick Middleton's been our guest. We'll have more intermission highlights right after these messages.
All right, here is trivia for the night again. Name the last player, possibly the only player, to score a hat trick in his first game as a Bruin. We're at the end of 2 periods. The score at the Met Center is Boston 5, the Minnesota North Stars nothing. Some of the other day's sports now on our sports update. In college basketball, Boston College was jolted out in Syracuse tonight, 108-88. The Orange men got out in front early by a lot. They just stayed there. Georgetown lost to Pitt. The Panthers are tough on their home court. Wins over St. John, Syracuse, and now Georgetown there. Final today was Pitt 65, Georgetown 63. Wide, Clyde Vaughn had 22 for the Panthers. Villanova stayed on top in the conference with a 75-68 win over UConn. Dwayne McClain scored 19, John Pannone 16 for the winners. Few of the teams ranked among the leaders got bumped off today. North Carolina lost their third in a row, 70-63 to North Carolina State. Memphis State lost to Louisville 75-66. Top-ranked Indiana whipped Northwestern 74-65. Arkansas beat TCU. Final there 64-56. Tennessee over Florida 78-53. Oklahoma State upset Missouri 79-73. UCLA beat California tonight 70-60. It was Kentucky over Vanderbilt 82-63. South Carolina beat Holy Cross badly. Final score was 85-59. UMass beat URI 79-64. Boston University 99, Vermont 85. And Harvard edged Cornell 56-55. Now, with the Bruins' 9 o'clock start tonight out in the Twin Cities, some of the games in the National Hockey League are complete. The Philadelphia Flyers have taken over from the Bruins as the hottest club in hockey right now. They won a shootout with the Rangers 8-5 this afternoon. Rookie goaltender Bob Froese was in goal for still another win. The Islanders did a shutout number on the Montreal Canadiens, 5-0. Roland Melanson in goal for his first NHL shutout. Bob Bourne had 2 goals for the Islanders. Mike Bossy got his 41st of the year in that win. And the Blackhawks beat Hartford 4-2. There were reports in the Globe that Herschel Walker, the Georgia running back, Heisman winner, had signed a contract with the Jersey Generals of the USFL, a contract that did allow him a way out within 24 hours, an out that he chose to take, apparently. Problem is, the simple fact that he may have signed that contract could cost him his final year of eligibility at Georgia anyway. Walker is denying, though, that he has signed anything. 6 men announced today as the newest members of basketball's Hall of Fame, and 4 of the names you will recognize quickly. Dean Smith, the coach at North Carolina, former Knicks stars Bill Bradley, who is now a U.S. Senator, and Dave DeBusschere, and former Rochester and Cincinnati Royals star Jack Twyman. The others are Lloyd Keith, who is a former official, and Lou Wilkie, former president of the AAU. Today in golf, Tom Kite, 4 strokes up on the field as they go to the final round of the San Diego Open tomorrow. He was 4 under par with a 68 today and is now 15 under for the tournament. And Darrell Waltrip took the 300 NASCAR late model sportsman race at the Daytona Speedway today, taking the lead with just 2 laps remaining in that 120-lap event, and that is tonight's sports update. We're at the end of 2 periods from the Met Center. It's Boston 5 and the Minnesota North Stars nothing. That trivia question again for the night was, name the last player, possibly the only player, to score a hat trick in his first game with the Bruins. Last man to manage that was the man John Pearson was talking with just a few minutes ago. Rick Middleton did it in the opening game of the 76-77 season against the Minnesota North Stars.
That will be the first home game now as the Bruins return from the road trip. Underway, 3rd period, Boston leading. Power play for Minnesota. Back first, Bork. Plett after him. Checks him around the board. Cicerelli kept it in. Drops it for Roberts. Over to McCarthy. Up to Broughton. Right wing side. Back to McCarthy. Shot in the screen. Blocked. Peters dropped at the right time with big Willie Plett in front. Bork breaks it out and gives it to Peterson. And Bork is spilled. Peterson rushes. Plays it back now to Middleton. Middleton weaving. Gives it to Peterson over the line. Hard shot, and it's wide of Meloche. And they could have called a trip as Bork would have created a good attacking situation. Back comes Roberts. A flip in wide. Plett Milbury into the corner. The drop pass goes to McCarthy. McCarthy drives it in deep to Cicerelli, who plays in the left wing corner. Back to Roberts. Roberts a shot. Save Peters. Beautiful coverage by Peters. When he is down, you know it is time to be down on the ice, and he's able to cover up the rebound.
Which doesn't happen very often, or it has not happened over that 33-game stretch where he went 31 games without a loss and had lost 2 in a row. But tonight he has been steady and extremely reliable to backbone the Bruins, which are now out in front with 19:02 left to play in the 3rd period, 5-0. The penalty to McTavish has 26 seconds to go.
Eves on the draw. Krushelnyski. It goes back to Brad Maxwell. A shot blocks like Krushelnyski. And it's clipped out by Peterson. And a tripping call here. Let's see what this one will be. It's on Minnesota. Jordy Douglas is going out. With the score of Boston 5, Minnesota nothing. Bruins hockey will continue in a moment.
Hockey League kneeing against Jordy Douglas. 1:07 of the third period.
Each team short a man. 17 seconds left on McTavish penalty. McNab is out. He has a goal and 2 assists. A lead for Eves. Too far. Peters knocks it off in the corner. Eves checked by O'Connell. Keith Crowder. Keith Crowder has it. Over to McNab. McNab checked by Sargent. Puck batted up. McNab with it. Here's a power play. Boston. A lead pass on the right for McTavish. Trying to cut in and it's broken up by Hartsburg. Boston has the power play now. Hartsburg, a long shot and a save by Peters. Drops it off for Ray Bork. Boston with 1 power play goal in the 5 they have. Bork for McNab. McNab for Peterson. In front. Tipped by Minnesota just as Keith Crowder looking for a hat trick. McNab digs it out for O'Connell. O'Connell clearing back in deep. Deflects near Meloche. Can't clear it out. Good play. Bork knocked it down, kept it in. Maxwell now gets the rebound. And fires into the Boston corner. 58 seconds left. Bruins power play. Opening minutes, third period. Boston leads 5-0. O'Connell trying to move it out. Harassed by George Ferguson. Gets it over to Ray Bork. Bork carries. A flip in. Bounces across for Peterson. Peterson drops it for Middleton. For McNab, swings in front, over to Bork. Bork shot. He was looking for Peterson, or Middleton. Bork in position again. In for McNab. McNab pass blocked as diving for it was Roberts. And it is cleared out. Young breaks. Coming on O'Connell, one-on-one. Coming up, Ferguson. He goes for a shot and misses by a wide margin, far side. Bounces for Bork. Full strength, Minnesota. Bork over the line. Holding. Going deep. In front, he can't set up Tom Fergus, who was really tied up by Hartsburg. 5-0 Boston. Minnesota back on the attack. Rushing Douglas out of the penalty box on the playoff side. Bellows went ahead of him. And from Bloomington, the score, Boston 5, Minnesota nothing. Face-off outside the Boston line. And Howe up for Krushelnyski. Flip over the line and Payne knocks it away. Brad Park right back. Long shot and a save. Meloche swept it away to Steve Payne. Payne drives it around for Bellows. Now Sargent. Let the pass up, blocked by Howe. Howe away from Smith for Park. Play stopped by Payne. Batted away by Bruce Crowder. Bruins not letting Minnesota get started. 4 minutes into the third period. The Bruins steal. Fergus can't set up the play with Krushelnyski. New combination used by Cheevers. Krushelnyski at left wing with Fergus and Bruce Crowder for most of the game. Bruce Crowder in back of Park, covered here. Tried to clear it out. Can't. It's kept in by Bellows. Bellows checked by Park. Puck in deep. Howe cuts away from 2 North Stars and carries out. From center ice. Drives into the corner. Bobby Smith checked by Fergus. And Minnesota starts it back. Up in the center ice, a lead for Bellows. Missed. Peters going to play it anyway. It might have been icing. But he clears it inadvertently into the stands. A break in the action. Let's pause for station identification.
This is TV 38, WSBK-TV, Boston.
Wouldn't believe it, but the attendance is 15,642, and I know you're not hearing them, and the Bruins are quite content.
Well, it's because the Bruins have dominated this game in terms of several departments. Goal scoring, it would be one that would be very obvious, 5-0. He has only figured in 1 goal offensively, but I've never seen Ray Bork play any better than he has here in this game tonight. He has controlled things beautifully.
Good shot by McCarthy on the draw, and Peters hangs on, no rebound. New face-off call. The way Ray, of course, with his great skating, can get back if they're shooting it in. He has it first in the corner, not the forward, and the forward isn't even close. And if the forward is close, Bork has been able to dominate him. Serge Savard said, best defenseman in the National Hockey League. Out in the center ice, Krushelnyski, blocked by Maxwell. Out comes Broughton, but he lost control, and Cashman, who's been a star in this game, figuring in the first 2 goals, hasn't played that much, but he's on now with Peterson. Middleton, his Broughton with a steal, has to wind up and start the play. Minnesota doing a lot of that back to the defenseman. And boy, if you're not skating, that doesn't, European style doesn't really click. But now they're pressing in the Boston end. Cashman intercepts, starts it out. Up on the left wing side, can't connect with Middleton. Roberts gets it back. Roberts for McCarthy, he can't move in. Now on the left wing side, center ice, Roberts drives it in. But it is Hillier there. And Mike Milbury was knocked down by McCarthy, who started to move in. Middleton slides it out into center ice, stopped by Maxwell. Right back comes Eves. Eves over the line, into the corner, over skates, hit by Milbury. Back to cover, Peterson. Wraps it around, not out, kept in for McAdam. He's broken out. Middleton trying to clear it out, can't. Ferguson, clear in, wide. McAdam in the corner. McAdam checked by Hillier. Peterson to Middleton. Middleton, magnificent on that play from the right wing side. Sends Cashman away, center ice, over the line. Checked on the play, and it's picked up by Barrett. 13:40 left, third period. 5-0 Boston, and Bork back for it. Middleton, Peterson, McNab in the first period. McNab's a power play. 2 by Keith Crowder in the second. That's been the scoring. Pete Peters has been, well, what can you say? Pete Peters in goal, that's all. And Boston leads it 5-0. Minnesota clear out, stopped by Bork, seems to be everywhere. Pass up for Keith Crowder, an outstanding game for him with the 2 goals. And Peter McNab a goal and 2 assists. 13 minutes left here at Minnesota, where the North Stars have only lost 3 games, one of them to the Bruins. Tough to beat at home, one of the best records in the league in that score. At center ice, the Bruins check it. Keith Crowder, McNab over the line, McTavish free, and he's tripped. Hooked by Hartsburg. It was kind of an aerial pass anyway, and Frazier let it ride. Minnesota clears, and Bork back to get it. Douglas in pursuit. Passes up, stopped by Young. Lost it. Now Douglas. Douglas in deep for Plett. Plett checked by Bork. Down he goes. Back toward Keith Crowder. Crowder broken up. A drop pass for Douglas. Douglas checked. Roberts fakes a shot. Moves it near the net to Young. Young trying to center it. Gets it back for Douglas. A shot. Missed. Now off to the left. Fought for. Bruins trying to move it out. Can't do it. McNab there. Plett in deep. Gord Kluzak hits Plett. 2 big men in the corner. Plett trying to drop it back. And it is checked by McTavish. Craig works it up to McNab. McNab has a 3-on-2 if the Bruins want to move on it, but McNab clears in as Boston changes on the fly. Bruins lead 5-0. 8 minutes played. Up on the left wing side, Bobby Smith drops the pass. The shot by Payne, the save by Peters, the clear by Milbury. Not out. Maxwell clears back in behind the net. Fought for it. They're trying to roll it in front. They do a great stop there by Pete Peters. What a save as he was on his feet. Kuchelinski's pass blocked by Steve Payne, who had that chance in tight. Puck cleared away. Howe covers. Fed back. O'Connell with Bellows in pursuit. Sends it away to Fergus, who set up the first goal beautifully. To Kuchelinski over the line. Kuchelinski a fake. Goes deep on Sargent. Centers it. Locked. In front. Quick shot. And the score by Bruce Crowder on the follow-up. Bruce Crowder makes it 6-0 Boston as he was set up by Fergus and Kuchelinski.
8:50 of the third period. The Bruins continue with the goal scoring. This time it's Bruce Crowder finding something in front of the net that Kuchelinski intended for Fergus. Then he just caught it in the far corner inside the goalpost. Kuchelinski's looking for Tom Fergus. The stick of Meloche gets in the way, but here comes Bruce Crowder. And he just slips it into the far corner. He'll take it. Kuchelinski will get an assist on the play, and possibly Tom Fergus, but maybe not. 8:50 the time.
A dominating game by the Boston Bruins, as the score indicates. And Peterson in, steals near the net, pass in front. Cashman tried to drive it home and couldn't do it. And back comes Cicerelli. Now it is off for Sargent. Sargent fires wide of Peters. Milbury back to cover. Milbury to Peterson. Out to Cashman. Cashman off for Randy Hillier. Flipped up and blocked by Hartsburg. Stolen by Cashman inside the line on Hartsburg, and he drives it in deep. And quick changes made by Jerry Cheevers. Out comes Cicerelli to be broken up by Peter McNab. Backward, Gary Sargent, almost halfway through the third period. Boston leading 6-0. A little bit of Crowder power. Heath with 2, Bruce with 1. Kluzak, a hard shot tipped by Meloche into the stands as Kluzak fired that from 55 feet. And from Bloomington, the score, Boston 6 and Minnesota nothing.
If you're going to Raleigh-Durham, Delta has a new nonstop every day with nonstop savings all the way. Delta is ready with a nonstop back to Boston, too. Convenient flights, affordable fares, great passenger service. Delta gives you more for your money. So if you're going to Raleigh-Durham, these planes, this company, these people will take you there. Welcome aboard. Delta is ready when you are.
Well, the Bruins out in front 6-0 here. The Nordiques 3, the St. Louis Blues 1. That's in the second period at St. Louis. Toronto out in front in their game by a score of 4-3 over Calgary.
Draw goes back to Brad Maxwell now. We're halfway through the third period. 6-0 Boston. Out on the right comes Eaves. A clear in. Into the corner. Ferguson. Behind the net. McTavish gets it. Gives it to Kluzak. Kluzak up for Peter McNab. McNab clearing in. Gord Kluzak's father was at the game in Winnipeg, drove 11 hours, then was driving back and hoping to pick this one up on satellite. Probably has by now. McAdam coming up. Checked by Kluzak into the corner. Park over to help out. Goes to Ease behind the net. Knocked down by McNab. Park gets the puck. Park gives it off to Kluzak, the open man. Kluzak for Keith Crowder, who has 2 goals. Keith Crowder can't move in. Still battles, though, to keep it in. And it's knocked away. Taken over now by Brad Park. Up in the center ice, tipped into the Minnesota end. They're going to call it icing. As Young is back for that. Boston leads it. And you're watching Bruins hockey from Bloomington, Minnesota.
The way your car's been knocking, doesn't merging into fast traffic make you nervous?
No more knocks. Now we've got star power.
Texaco Star Power. Extra power when Texaco Super Unleaded helps knock out the knocks. Compare a car knocking with regular unleaded fuel to the same car with Star Power. Star Power can help give you more car power.
See, Marie? No sweat.
Oh, it's wonderful, but shouldn't we be heading north?
Star Power for car power.
Well, a very well-balanced attack. No question about that by the Bruins. Back it goes to Douglas. Douglas shot blocked. Goes wide. Hillier with it. Around the boards, Bruce Crowder bumps Barrett. The puck goes out to center ice. Backward, Hartsburg. A 6-0 Bruins lead. Hillier breaks it up. Gives it to Bruce Crowder, and it's back in the Minnesota end. Fergus, Krushelnyski, Bruce Crowder. New combination used by Jerry Cheevers. Started off with Cashman playing wing with Middleton and Peterson. Cashman picked up assists on the first 2 goals for Boston. Making a beautiful play for Peterson to make it 2-0 at that time. Bork in deep. Takes a heavy hit from Platt and is knocked down. Platt gets it behind the net now. Off in the corner. Bork ready to go after him. Gives him a shove. Hillier in the corner. And Young. About all that's left for Minnesota is to stir up a couple of fights and see if they can get some excitement. Third period action will continue from Bloomington in a moment.
The Volkswagen dealers of New England are having their Washington's birthday sell-a-thon. They're dealing on thousands of cars. And now, if you hurry, Volkswagen of America will send you cash back on almost every new 82 model. Buy a Scirocco, get $1,200 back. $1,000 back on Quantum or Rabbit convertible. They're bursting at the seams with 83 Rabbits of every kind. They need to move fast. So they're ready to make you a tremendous deal now. But your Volkswagen dealer's Washington's birthday sell-a-thon only lasts 10 days.
8 minutes left in the game. Face off to the right of Peters. And the draw won by Peterson against Cicerelli. For O'Connell trying to clear it out. And it is batted out by Krushelnicki. Cashman moves to left wing now with Middleton and Peterson. Brad Maxwell, center ice, drives in. Peters able to block this one. Clear it away from Cicerelli. Up the board, stop. Back from Maxwell. Shot, tip, save, beauty on a deflected shot. Poked now into the net. And a score for Minnesota to destroy the shutout. 7:39 left.
Well, here's the play. I believe it may be Hartsburg who got the goal. The bouncing puck. Here he comes in with a little chip shot over the fallen Pete Peters. A scramble in front of the net. The puck bounced across, and Peters could not contain it with a stick. Oh, it was Tom McCarthy, not Hartsburg. I'm sorry. Tom McCarthy gets credit for the goal. His 25th of the year.
Brad Maxwell and Cicerelli assisting. Kluzak in the Boston end, starts it away into center ice and fires in. Meloche blocking him. McCarthy will have that score as Plett drives it out into the Boston end, racing for it. Douglas. Park checks him behind the net. Plett and Kluzak go for it, and Kluzak ties it up with Peterson at a faceoff called in the Boston zone. And on Friday, March 18th, the United States Olympians, coached by Herb Brooks, will meet the Bruins old-timers at the Centrum in Worcester. Proceeds from the game will benefit the 1984 Olympic team. Tickets can be purchased at the Centrum, or you can call 1-800-223-0120, charged your Visa or MasterCard.
McCarthy from Cicerelli and Maxwell at 12:21. The first goal of the night for the North Stars. It's Boston 6, Minnesota 1.
Back to Brad Park, and he gets it off to Peterson. Peterson now tied for 6th National Hockey League scoring. 6th. He's tied with Goulet. Out comes Plett now, center ice. Plett over the line, off for Young. Back for Plett. Backhander and a score, Willie Plett. Willie Plett makes it 6-2 with 6:45 left.
Oh, nice pass here by Young to Plett. Plett will get rid of it right here, and Young will fire it back to him. Watch the backhander. Oh, and he slipped it by that right pad of Pete Peters. Here's the play from that end camera. Plett with a backhander. Oh, a nice shot off the goalpost and set up nicely by the give and go of Tim Young and Willie Plett. And it's 6-2 Boston, 13-15.
And at center ice, the Bruins break it up, and McNab starts it back. Clearing in. Barrett trying to come out. Forechecking, McTavish. Heavy hit, Keith Crowder on Barrett. Now McCarthy starts it back. Long lead pass, back to cover Bork. Bork hit by Broughton. Broughton keeps it in. Drop pass McCarthy. The shot deflected over the head of Pete Peters. And the rebound for McTavish. Can't clear it out. Kept in by McCarthy. Good play at the blue line. This shot goes deflected into the corner. Man knocked down in front. A power play coming up. A cross check on Hilliard. Randy Hilliard going out for cross checking. And Minnesota will have a power play. And we're in the third period with the score, Minnesota 6 and Boston 2.
Born of tradition, nurtured by pride. Budweiser Light, with a clean, distinctive taste. A light beer worthy of the king of beers.
Bring out your best. Bring out your best.
The best never comes easy.
Budweiser Light.
That's why there's nothing else like it.
Score, of course, is Boston 6 and Minnesota 2. And the play on. Power play. And a shot. A beautiful save on Smith by Peters. Rebound Peterson. And he clears it out. Boy, Bobby Smith dead on. 20 feet away. And Pete Peters made the stop. Power play now. Into center ice comes Young. For the first time in evening, you can hear the crowd. O'Connell knocked down in the corner. Smith takes it behind the net. Off for Bellows. Back for Smith. Smith back to Young. Young for Hartsburg. Hartsburg holds, shoots, blocked. Beautiful stop, Peters. This one was wide on a hard drive by Young. Hartsburg fires it back in. Knocked away by Milbury. Covered by Peterson. Peterson hit. And a battle going on. Milbury battling. The play continues. And it's back to Hartsburg. Hartsburg gives it off. Goes to Young. Young, a shot wide. Milbury back in action. Minnesota has the Bruins pressed. Shot here. Beautiful save by Peters. A penalty coming up on Boston again. Bruins get a second penalty. And it will be Barry Peterson going out. So it will be a two-man advantage for Minnesota with 54 seconds left. On the Boston penalty to Randy Hillier. Milbury separated by the linesman. Milbury knocked him down. 4:57 left in the game. The Bruins lead 6-2. Two-man advantage, Minnesota. Bruins kept them in restraint and kept the crowd quiet. That last goal, Platt from Robertson Young at 13:15. McCarthy from Cicerelli and Maxwell earlier at 12:21. Hillier went off for cross-checking at 13:57. Peterson now at 15:03.
Unfortunately for Barry Peterson, he broke his stick on the penalty killing. And this is Milbury knocking down Bobby Smith, and they sort of went at it a little bit right there. And we've got penalties. Milbury's in the penalty box along with Bobby Smith. I thought Barry Peterson was going to get a 2-minute penalty for holding in front. But the referee had his hand up, and I guess what he did was, oh, Peterson's going in. He had his hand all over with no stick, playing without a stick. He broke it, unfortunately. And Peterson's getting a penalty. We'll wait for the announcement. Looks like Milbury and Bobby Smith.
For holding.
Peterson does get it, as you said, John, for holding.
A minor for roughing.
And Mike Milbury gets 2 minutes for roughing.
15, Bobby Smith, a minor for roughing. The penalties, 15:03.
Well, we're going to have a delayed penalty, of course, on Peterson.
Well, the Bruins have 2 men in the penalty box. Well, they have 3 men in the penalty box. You're right, Fred. One of them is a delayed call. And it can be chosen by the coach. Well, you see Peterson right there. That's where the penalty was called originally. And he gets it for holding, not roughing. But one of the penalties will be delayed. So it will be 4 against 3. Here coming up, the North Stars will not initially have a 2-man advantage. Of course, due to the fact that Bobby Smith drew a penalty, they'll have a 4-on-3 situation until Randy Hillier's penalty expires, which is 54 seconds. Now the penalty expires to Randy Hillier. The Bruins will not be able to get a man back out of the penalty box.
And tickets for the next 5 Bruins home games on sale at the Boston Garden box office and Ticketron locations. Box office open Monday through Saturday from 11 to 7. Sundays and holidays 1 to 7. Bruins tickets for all home games may be charged by telephone to MasterCard or Visa by calling the Garden ticket charge line 742-0200 daily from 10 to 6. And a reminder that that game that was snowed out against the Toronto Maple Leafs, the Saturday afternoon game, will now be played on Monday night, February 28th at the Boston Garden. Tickets for that Saturday afternoon game good on the 28th. So that will be the first home game of the Boston Bruins. Toronto Maple Leafs and the Boston Bruins February 28th at the Garden.
We don't see this happen very often now. Used to happen a lot more, delayed calls on penalties. But when you have assessed more than 2 minor penalties, the additional ones over the 2 are called delayed penalties and cannot start till one of the other 2 expires.
Minnesota keeps it in. They've got the power play. A 1-man advantage, a 4-on-3 really. Mark, Middleton, and Bork. They drop it off for McCarthy, whose shot is caught by Peters. And he goes heavily into Gordy Roberts, who tried to bump him. And a face-off again in the Boston zone. 4:46 left in the game. The Bruins lead 6-2. Minnesota bringing the crowd to life as they scored 2 here, and now with the penalty situation coming up, and particularly the delay and the man advantage, the Bruins are going to be in trouble, and heavy workout as we look now at 34 shots from Minnesota. And to tell you the truth, I don't know where they all came from. They've, of course, had a flurry here with the man advantage and in scoring the goals. Draw one for Ray Bourque. Bourque skates behind the net, carries the puck, goes on the attack. Now cuts back, killing time. Flips it back for Park. Park drives it away. Bourque killing some valuable seconds there. Power play Minnesota. Middleton, Bourque, and Park. Cicerelli in the center ice. Roberts back for Cicerelli. Over the line, checked, broken up by Middleton. And that was Bourque's sweep check that really set it up.
Hillier looks set to come out of the penalty box. He cannot step on the ice.
Here comes Broughton for a shot. Blocked wide by Peters. And it's back now to Roberts. Roberts at the left point, holding. In the Cicerelli. Cicerelli to McCarthy. Slow pass there. Back now for Roberts. Roberts missed it. Bourque checking Broughton in front. A drive deflected by Middleton into the stands, and the face-off called in the Boston zone. 3:50 left in the game.
Excellent timing by Rick Middleton, moving slowly on McCarthy, standing on the right point, and just as he put his head down to let the slap shot go, Middleton pushed with that back foot, and he just managed to deflect the drive into the crowd.
And Monday night at 8, the Movie Loft goes south with Rodgers and Hammerstein's musical South Pacific. That's Monday night at 8 here on TV 38. Some enchanted evening. Ezio Pinzo.
Well, Mike Milbury's penalty has now started, and he will be in the penalty box for 1 minute and 50 seconds. They're still on a 4-on-3 situation. It'll be a 5-on-4 situation when Peterson comes out along with Bobby Smith.
And now O'Connell out with Park. And the draw to Hartsburg. Kushelinski checking the play. Goes in deep to Payne. Payne in the corner. 6-2 the Bruins lead. Back to Young. A shot. Beautiful save by Pete Peters. And he covers up. You could hear the echo up here on the left pad as Young drove it low and hard. And the key for Peters, not only the save, but no rebound.
Well, he has excellent balance. Covers the front of that net beautifully by not going down. Here's the play coming up. That's Payne in the corner. He will ultimately get it up to the right point to Young. You'll see the drive from a great angle behind the net. Now watch Peters' pad. Oh, beautiful balance. And look, he is not going down at that point.
Kushelinski able to clear it out of the zone after the faceoff. Replaced by Middleton again. Middleton, Park, O'Connell. Now Payne with it. Over to Tim Young. Young got it back on the left wing side. Hartsburg clears in. Peters blocks it behind the net. Passes up on the boards, and Park has it. And clears it out. Beautiful work by Pete Peters. A third defenseman there. Now Bourque replaces Park. Park. Bourque and O'Connell with Middleton, and Young for Bellows. Back in front. Young can't connect. And an extra man on. Well, 2 men coming out. It's 5-on-4. In the corner, fought for. Drop pass for Young. Still a power play. Shot deflected wide. Rebound. Great stop. Peters on Payne. Oh, what a stop he made there. Kept in now by Bellows. Bellows back for Smith. Right wing corner. Smith trying to stick handle in. And a penalty. Payne might be getting this one for interference. Steve Payne cross-checked Mike O'Connell the way we look at it. And that will be a break for Boston as the Bruins lead it 6-2. 2:37 left. And Jim Kosek out, checking Pete Peters. Didn't see what happened.
17:23. Well, interference on Mike O'Connell as Steve Payne cross-checked him in front of the net. And at 17:23, with 2:37 left to play in the third period, both teams have a man in the penalty box.
Jim Kosek and Pete Peters. And Pete getting up slowly. There have been 35 shots on him. Ray Bork says, how's it going? He looks tired and weary. They listed 12 shots by Minnesota in the second. I don't know where they came from, but that's what it is on the board. 35 for Minnesota, 25 for Boston. The Bruins lead 6-2. And their goal scorers, first period, Rick Middleton, Barry Peterson, and a power play by Peter McNab. 2 by Keith Crowder. There are the shots in the second period. Bruce Crowder in the third, and then McCarthy and Plett for Minnesota. Right now, each team short a man. 2:31 left in the game. Boston leading at 6-2. And St. Louis has gone ahead of Quebec 4-3. Out comes Bobby Smith. Check, knocked down. McNab clears it out. Heavy collision. Smith slow and clearing the zone. He and Bork collided. Puck fed back in the Boston end. Ray Bork back. Drives it around the boards. And McNab trying to move it out. Does on Maxwell. And a nice hit there. Keith Crowder on Plett. Rushing Bork. Can't make the play at the Minnesota line. It was almost a 2-1. Ray Bork and Mike Milbury, would you believe? Keith Crowder, 2 goals and some heavy hitting. Nice solid check on Willie Plett a moment ago. And here is Minnesota clearing down. Fed around, Mike O'Connell to Cashman. It's a power play Boston now. Up comes Fergus. Middleton. Cross for Cashman. Cashman in the corner. Back for Middleton. Turned for the shot and couldn't connect. 1:23 left in the game. Boston leading 6-2. Pete Peters seems to be okay. I think he might have just wanted a little delay there. Brad Park starts it out. Power play steal for the Bruins. Park, Middleton. Park moves in deep near the net. Tried to set up Cashman in front. Couldn't do it. And it is cleared by McAdam. Boston leads at 6-2, a minute away from a victory and a 14-point lead over Minnesota. Minnesota beaten, or rather over the Montreal. Montreal beaten by the Islanders 5-0. Tom Fergus can't move in on it. Fergus plays it back to Park. Now to Kluzak. Kluzak carries up. A dipping shot missed Meloche and the net by not much. In deep, Steve Payne starts back for Minnesota. The clear out stopped by Kluzak. Fed back in and now called for the offside.
6 players tonight for the Boston Bruins have 2 points. And Peter McNab leads them all with 3, a goal and 2 assists. 2 goals for Keith Crowder. And Middleton, Peterson, Cashman, Keith Crowder, Krushelnyski, and Fergus all have 2 points.
Boston 18 seconds away from compiling 86 points, still best in the National Hockey League. 86 will keep them 3 ahead of Philadelphia in the overall record. Boston on the road trip. And a reminder that Toronto game will be on the 28th, Monday night at Boston Garden. McTavish starts it back. Over the line for Keith Crowder. And that is it. A game dominated by Boston. And the final score, Bruins 6, Minnesota 2. Bruins hockey will continue in a moment.
Go where you've never been before. Achieve Mitsubishi.
In the Cordia, the sports coupe with front-wheel drive, a slippery Arrow front body, and a 4+4 transmission available. The only sports coupe with a liquid crystal display on the Cordia LS. 9.75% financing is available now through March 20th on a Mitsubishi Cordia when you trade in any import car or truck at participating dealers.
The airline that doesn't plan for the future may not have one. 5 years ago, Eastern saw the future in a remarkable aircraft. Now it's here. The new Boeing 757, the most advanced, most fuel-efficient commercial jet ever built. It's going to help Eastern hold down the cost of flying for years to come.
We earn our wings for you, that's why we're Eastern, America's favorite way of life.
If you're in the business of selling something that's expensive, you should know that the people with the highest incomes consider television advertising to be the most influential advertising. The more people can afford what you sell, the more they respect television's role in influencing their spending. Television, the medium that works for you because it reaches people like you.
Call WSBK TV 38 sales at area code 617-783-3838.
There's a boat for you, there's a beauty too, there's a boat for me, and they're all brand new. There are big boats, little boats, sailboats too, at the great New England Boat Show.
Ahoy, mates. The 27th Annual New England Boat Show has moved to the new Bayside Expo Center February 19th through 27th. More sailboats, more and bigger luxury cruisers with the largest variety of boats and accessories. Don't miss the biggest boat show of them all at the Bayside Expo Center, exit 17, Southeast Expressway, Boston, February 19th through 27th.
Tonight's final at the Met Center, Boston 6, the North Stars 2, and Bruins Recap is brought to you by your local McDonald's restaurant, home of the Big Mac sandwich. Together, McDonald's and you. Fred?
Shots on goal, third period, Minnesota 14 and Boston 3. The totals, Minnesota 36, Boston 25. A little bit deceptive, I think, on the shots, but it was a 6-2 impressive win.
Well, it really was, Fred, and with the Bruins having lost the previous 2 games, this was a big, big game for them on the road, and they knew what they had to do. They had to contain the North Stars early, play a good, strong first period, which they did. They got great production from a lot of people out here tonight, but I thought Ray Bourque was outstanding for the Boston Bruins. He only figured in 1 goal, but I tell you, he was a going concern all night long, and what a tremendous skater he is, which, of course, intimidates the opposition, especially in the Bruins' end when he can really move that puck out. But this was a very fine team effort by the Bruins from start to finish, backboned by good goaltending by Peters. Not one of his great games in terms of the kind of shots he had to stops he had to make, but he played well.
And he was voted the #1 star. McNab and Crowder also voted stars of the night. And Tom Fergus made a big play for the first goal.
Well, of course, the first goal was extremely important for the Boston Bruins here tonight. And a magnificent individual effort by Tom Fergus set the thing up. He made 2 great plays coming into the Minnesota end, laid a perfect pass back to Rick Middleton. All he had to do was snap it in the open net. You'd love a few of those during the course of the season. But it was the first goal, and it made Minnesota think a little bit about the fact that they had to crank it up, and they really never did until Boston was too far ahead for them to catch up, and it ended up 2 big points for the Bruins.
And Wayne Cashman figured in the second goal, figured in the first 2 as the lines were changed a little bit. That helped the cause to get them off to the right start, but then they simply carried it from there, and those shots, as I say, are deceptive.
Well, sometimes you have to mix your lines up a little bit in order to get things back on track, and the Cheevers made a couple of very good moves tonight. Krushelnyski certainly helped Ferguson Crowder, and of course Middleton and Peterson work so well together that no matter who plays on that left side, if he just gets into the flow of the play and plays his position well, will fit in nicely. Cashman played very well tonight for the Boston Bruins, especially in the first period when he played more than he did in the rest of the game.
And so the Bruins posted an important victory, move on to Los Angeles, still on the road. Our next coverage will be in Buffalo, and an impressive win before a sellout crowd here at Bloomington, Minnesota. The final score was Boston 6, Minnesota 2. Here's Tom.
Thank you, Fred. The Bruins giving the North Stars only their 4th loss of the season there at the Met Center, and looking like the Bruins of the last couple of months again after the losses to Buffalo on Wednesday night and Winnipeg last night. Bruins Recap has been brought to you by your local McDonald's restaurant. Start your day off right with breakfast at McDonald's. Final score tonight at the Met Center, Boston 6, Minnesota 2. Tonight's game has been brought to you in part by Texaco, makers of Texaco Super Unleaded that helps knock out the knocks. By Budweiser Light, the light beer with a clean, distinctive taste worthy of the king of beers. Bring out your best with Budweiser Light. And by Savin, the company that brings you innovation after innovation in the office products field. Join TV 38 Monday night at 8 o'clock for South Pacific on the Movie Loft with Dana Hersey. Our next Bruins telecast, Friday night at 7:30, when the Bruins face the Buffalo Sabres. Stay tuned next for the Independent Network News. This has been a TV 38 sports presentation.